Corruption, a word that is strongly associated with the FIFA brand today. FIFA had initially been accused of receiving bribes to award the World Cup hosting opportunities to Qatar. This snowballed into allegations of racketeering, wire fraud, and money laundering, spanning a total of 24 years.
This huge scandal has brought a large amount of negative press upon the organization along with their officials, damaging everyone's reputation. As a result, the former president, Sepp Blatter, has since stepped down. According to a 2015 survey at YouGov, 64% of participants believe that the corruption is widespread throughout the organization, not only confined to top officials. A survey from Transparency International found that 43% say the scandal has affected how much people enjoy the sport, and 57% believe that football is more corrupt than other sports. Financial and political motives have misguided the organization and dragged them into the deep end. In order to meet consumers' expectations and remain as a reputable governing body of football, FIFA must refresh its brand. First of FIFA's concerns is in regards to their officials receiving bribes during the bidding process for World Cup hosting rights. The motivation behind this was Blatter's agenda to promote soccer in impoverished countries to secure more votes and support for himself. This realization came into light after Brazil hosted the 2014 World Cup. Brazil is considered a developing country with low GDP per capita, poor living standards, and high infant mortality rate, to name a few. In preparation for the World Cup, more than 250,000 Brazilians were forcefully removed from their homes and were compensated with very little money, putting them in even worse conditions. Approximately 3 million Brazilian children were subjected to child labor, and there was an increase in violence against sex workers. The Brazilian government had also poorly spent their money, approximately 12 billion on 12 stadiums, 4 more than required, which they will struggle to fill with fans in the future. Infrastructure was poorly built, causing an overpass to collapse that summer, killing 2 people. Overall, Brazil was flooded with social unrest, and people from all over the world protested that the money used for the event should have been used for healthcare and other facilities for the country. With overbearing pressure in Brazil over the organization of the 2014 World Cup, following a series of FIFA corruptions allegations, Ricardo Teixeira, president of the Brazilian Football Confederation for 22 years, resigned. Indeed, the Brazilian government has passed exceptional laws to respond to FIFA demands. These laws nullified existing laws and allowed actions that normally would be considered illegal. For instance, higher than usual debts were permitted if it was used for the World Cup. Also, an exclusion zone was created around each stadium within which FIFA had power over who could enter these areas. Only goods approved by the organization could be sold in these zones. Thus, a restaurant selling Pepsi instead of Coca-Cola, which is one of FIFA's sponsors, would be penalized. Lastly, protesters say that FIFA has robbed the Brazilian public, and as a result of this tournament, the whole country is now poorer.
Created using Powtoon.